So in terms of support, we think the report was a really clear assessment of what matters most to members, particularly investment performance and fees. We agree with where you've highlighted that the super industry can do better, such as the sustained underperformance that exists, unintended multiple accounts and associated insurance covers, choice, proliferation and fees. We like the fact you quantified the losses to members from those outcomes, and the proposed solutions, we support them. We accept that some of them are not without risks or concerns, and there may be some difficulties associated with them. But we basically believe that the industry does need to be restructured. We think that over 100 MySupers, over 200 funds and 40,000 choice products can't be efficient, and that the members are paying for that. So we support the recommendations. Some further comments I'd like to make probably go to once-only defaults, best in shows, clarity of the regulators' roles, and just the degree of difficulty that will be experienced in even an orderly rationalisation of the industry. And just probably maybe a few comments to make there before I finish is that it's very, very difficult for people to do themselves out of jobs. You know, sometimes from time to time, industries have to be rationalised, and there is some pain to be felt from doing that. And the pain will be felt here, I think, across everyone, service providers, industry organisations, ratings agencies, but most of all the funds themselves. A lot of people in those funds have tried to do the right thing by their members, and it becomes very difficult to find ways to do yourself out of jobs. And so I think that we can't estimate the difficulty that this will apply to the industry, but we believe it has to happen.
Okay. Thanks very much, Cathy. And I just should say at the outset, on behalf of the Commission, we'd like to really thank you and PwC. You've been with us along this three-stage journey in terms of constructive and active involvement in submissions, and particularly the technical roundtables in stage 1, and a helpful sounding board in stage 2 as well, especially around issues of governance and mergers. I guess coming back to the point that you ended on around not underestimating how difficult this all is, we were struck by a statement by ex-Reserve Bank Governor Bernie Fraser, where he said, "The problems the Productivity Commission have identified have been there for yonks, and there's been a hell of a lot of inertia." I guess for us, stepping back just from a view of policy versus the role of the trustee board, why is it that industry and the trustee boards haven't done something about this sooner, these twin problems?
I think it gets down to the fact that a lot of people, you know, whether they're within the funds themselves, the executive or on the boards, have invested a lot of their own energy in trying to do the right thing by their members. It's very hard for them to face the fact or want to hear the fact that their members might be better off elsewhere. And a lot of them inherently believe they are doing the right thing by their members. So consequently, you tend to get their effort focused on preserving their situation rather than doing them out of their role. And I think because of that difficulty, I think that there has to be, like I counted 10 of your recommendations which actually go to trying to help sort of almost force that situation to happen a little bit more. And there even may be some further things that need to happen. So do you want me to expand on that now?
That would be good.
Okay, so I think out of the recommendations you made, some of the really critical ones are the independent order of enhanced outcomes testing. I think the problem to date is when you're comparing yourselves, a lot of people compare themselves to the median of 100, you know, over 100 MySupers. It's almost a bit self-perpetuating that anyone can look good against some of those criteria when you're only comparing yourself to the median of over 100 entities. So I think forcing an enhanced outcomes test